Hi, it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and today I want to introduce you to the latest colouring book from Johanna Basford that I'm sure we're all very familiar with her colouring books and her particular inky artistic style. This is her latest book, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Now, as most readers know, I usually prefer to buy my own colouring books because I want to make sure that I like the book. That's super important to me. But when I seen pictures of this on social media, I knew I was going to love it. So when her publishers kindly offered to send it to me, I jumped at the chance. In addition, they also sent to me these gorgeous pencils, which are the ones that Johanna uses, and maybe they're going to give me a little bit of a magical touch. I'm going to try those out later and review them for you because they're actually a set of pencils that I don't have. And it also came with this, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a special card from Johanna. So absolutely lovely. And I'm going to colour that in with these later on. The one thing that surprised me first of all with Ivy and the Inky Butterfly is how big it is. When you see the spine up against the spine of, say, Secret Garden, you realise that this book is jam-packed. And it's a completely different book from her others, not just in sizing, as you can see there from her previous book, Secret Garden, which all had the same sizing. But it's different because this one has a story in it. And previously we knew Johanna's artwork, but we never knew her as a writer or a children's writer. So one of the first things I did this morning when I received this was quickly read the story, and it is gorgeous. Now, this is the US edition that has beautiful gold foiling and green foiling on it as well, and this lovely aqua printing on there as well. The UK edition doesn't have the green on it, and that's how you can tell them apart. So the UK edition has gold and the US edition has the green. So first of all, we've got the lovely fold-out card cover. And of course you can colour all of those little elements on there. A very ornate title page with an introduction from Johanna. Now in this book, there are 200 butterflies defined, so you can start counting right about now. Now, I didn't write this in, it came to me with my full name on it, and isn't that a gorgeous touch? And of course signed, so I'm a little bit worried about touching that page just in case I mess it up. Now, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, as I understand it, is a story that Johanna used to tell her young daughter. So this is the first time that we've seen Johanna tell a story, or a children's story, as well as draw her illustrations. And when this arrived today, the very first thing that I did was to open it up and dive into the story, because I'm just a big kid. And let me tell you, the story is adorable, and it's really nice to see a different side of Johanna. As you'll see flipping through, some of the images may remind you of Johanna's previous work, like Secret Garden, especially all these lovely flowers and the little bees that we see. But what's different is there's a new whimsical feeling to this book, and we've got Johanna drawing people for the first time. And that is super exciting for me. Now, as you'll see, the story is interwoven between the colouring page. There are some images that are full page without any text on them, and then there are others where the story is combined with illustrations. So that makes it completely different from everything that Johanna has previously given us. So we've got these beautifully ornate pictures with lovely borders and elaborate decorations around the side, gorgeous flowers, and then this real touch of whimsy with the little toadstools and the little snow-capped mushrooms, which are just truly adorable. Now, they've positioned the line art really well as well, so you'll notice that when we have double-page scenes, that they've minimised the amount that goes into the spine, and you'll notice that on several of these double-page scenes. So you can avoid colouring in the tricky area. It's not going to be as hard, but also the binding on the book is really good. I've just lightly pushed down on a few sections of it, and it's folding over very easily for me. If I gave it a little bit more pressure off camera, it would fold over even better. But here is another example of that really good positioning, so that you've only got a small amount near the spine. So if you do have trouble laying it flat, you know that there's only a minimal area. You'll also notice on some of these single-page illustrations that the positioning and centering of the image again has avoided the spine area. So a lot of thought has gone into this keepsake book. And it's sort of really one that you wish that you had a child that you could colour it in for. The other thing that I really love about this book is all of these gorgeous little interior scenes that we'll see as we progress through. They're just so incredibly whimsical, they're just adorable. But then, of course, there's other scenes that have a lot more detail for those colourists that like the fiddly bits and like the detail. There's plenty of that there as well. But it's really interesting to see the people in Johanna's books, so it's just completely different. Now the line art is nice and black and crisp, as you expect from an inky goddess like Johanna. Very easy to see up against the off-white medium quality paper. And these sorts of illustrations are just gorgeous. They remind me of a little bit from Johanna's Christmas, some of the pages in there. But it's really been expanded in that truly whimsical style. So there's gorgeous dragons, you've got this cute little mouse, a castle, but then you've got some, creatures like this tree creature here, and there's some other creatures coming up that you wouldn't expect from Johanna. So it's always nice to see different artistic styles, and this is one of my favourite pages that has text on it with these gorgeous little mushroom houses. It's like a cute little mushroom village. And we've got our little elves and our lovely little pot of honey. So we can still tell it's Johanna because her distinctive style of flowers and leaves is still there, but it's got this added bonus of a real dash of whimsy. So I think it's going to appeal to a lot of people that really love whimsical drawings and dragons and all of those sorts of magical type elements. And again, you'll see how this has been positioned so that it avoids that spine area. Now at first glance the bees sort of look the same, but when you look at them up close, all the little details are different. So it'd be a good page to practice your bees on. But these sort of pages really remind me of older style children's books that had the coloured images with the text framed around them. And then you've got this gorgeous little mouse that appears in the book, and it wears a little apron, which is absolutely adorable. And then we have our lovely little ivy. So from a colouring point of view, we've got a lot of things to colour, different types and styles. So we've got candles, we've got gems, we've got crystals, we've got metals, timbers, leaves, flowers, gorgeous little mushrooms, and of course little Ivy herself. Now I'm very impressed with the paper. It's a medium quality, but it's on the heavier end, off-white, and very good quality. And look at the expression on their faces in this one. Isn't it adorable? And even with this one, where the artwork is running into the spine, you can see just with a gentle push that that is going to fold down and make it easier to colour in. And this story, they go to Enchantia, and I wonder if like Enchanted Forest was the concept behind that book, if it was about this story, or if it was the other way around. I'd like to know more. And this is gorgeous. It has a real sort of treasure map type look to it. And I'm just so surprised at how whimsical it is. I was so surprised that Johanna drew these two images because they're so very different from the type of artwork that she usually presents us with, but they go perfectly well with this story. And again, you'll see how well this was positioned here on this double page spread, just showing that small amount there. And there's that gorgeous little mouse again with his little apron on. And he is part of the actual story. You can read about the house mouse in the actual storybook as you colour in. Now I would like to know what that note says, but I don't have my glasses on, so I'll have to leave that until later. And then we get to the end, and Ivy gets the letter from her grandfather that welcomes her back from Enchantia, where she had this beautiful adventure. So we've got this gorgeous mushroom, and we're at the end. Now we do have a couple of test pages here to test out our mediums on. So let's get to it. So I'll try the Steadtler Brilliant Colours. So just colouring that in, and nothing on the other side. So I've also got some Ergosoft watercolours, so I'll try those as well. Now Johanna does say in the introduction not to worry if you go over the lines, which is good because I have, probably because I'm standing up to do this. So it goes on fine on the paper, nothing coming through onto the other side, but it's only a small amount as well. I'll try the Copic. Now as an alcohol-based marker, this should bleed through usually on most paper, we'll see, but usually alcohol-based markers will bleed through, so I'll just use it on a small little leaf over here. And yes, alcohol markers do bleed through, and that is to be expected unless it's, you know, based for alcohol markers. Colouring book paper usually won't stand alcohol markers. Now this is a Tombow pencil, so it's water-based. Texture. So water-based generally are fine. So we've got our little leaves on there and no bleed through. Got the Neo Colour 2 pastels. And that goes on super smooth. I've actually got too much water on there. Nothing on the other side. Got some Inktense pencil. Nothing. Goes on really well. Now it's only a small area, so on a larger area it may well buckle, but you always should expect that with water-based activated products. Spectrum Noir art liners. Now these are made from a Japanese ink, alcohol ink, so we'll try the blue. And they've got the tiniest nib on them. So there it is down there in the corner, the blue, and nothing showing through either. So far it's only the Copic, and if the Copic bleeds through, that means your Bics and your Sharpies are also going to bleed through because they're alcohol based as well. Let's have a look at these Steadtler Ergosoft, which I've only ever used the watercolour of before, so this will be exciting. These are triangular, so we've got a triangle barrel on them. And that goes down very, very easily. Very easy to colour with that. So let's try a Faber-Castell. And again, goes down very easily. And last of all, we'll try a Prismacolor. They actually all seem to be performing really well, so they all feel quite smooth on the paper. And bear in mind, I'm standing up. Normally I'd be sitting down with my glasses on when I colour, but I'm standing up without my glasses. But they all go on really well, so I'm sure whatever medium that you're using, you're not going to have any problem with the paper. But obviously don't use alcohol markers unless you're prepared to sacrifice the page overleaf. So that's it for our gorgeous new colouring book, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, which is a story as well that you can perhaps read to your own child. Now, of course, you can colour in the cover. You can colour in that inside cover. It's absolutely gorgeous and a fantastic story as well there. You might be like me and get totally involved in the story. So that's it for Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Until next time, happy colouring.